Hello, I'm Elaine Stevens, and I want to welcome you to Artbeat. Are you ready for a journey back in time? Welcome to Artbeat, where art is the heartbeat of the South. We are in Foley, Alabama, at the Hotel Magnolia, which was built turn of the century. You're going to learn about its historic restoration and the art of hospitality and some of the people who run it. Stay with us. Welcome back to Artbeat. We're at the Hotel Magnolia in Foley, Alabama, and even this door has a magnificent history, which you're going to hear about as soon as we introduce you to Mary Younts. Hi, Mary. Nice to see you. Thank you for having us. This is great. So let's start, if you would, by telling us about this historic door.
Well, the door was in John's father's home in Ohio.
And John is?
John Snook and Margie Snook owned the
owners.
Gulf
Okay.
Telephone, and they bought this building in 1967. And he moved the door down here, and 5 presidents have walked through this door.
Wow. I know Grant was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Grant, Garfield, McKinley, Taft. That's what I was reading.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
At any rate, you know, when you first walk into this hallway, it's just a sense of utter magnificence and a well-maintained bed and breakfast. And it's just beautiful. And the first thing, of course, you notice is the chandelier and the gilded ceilings and how beveled they are and very ornate. So do tell us a little bit about how that restoration went. I mean, this is not apparently from the original structure.
No. Originally, it was just a small hotel built in 1908 to accommodate the people who came down from Chicago to purchase land from Mr. Foley,
Right.
who had 55,000 acres.
Can you
down
imagine
here.
55,000 acres?
So, and he would go back to Chicago and bring people down here and sell them the property.
Now, this was in about 1907, was it not? Well, can we go and take a look at the parlor?
Oh,
Maybe we can
surely.
chat in there. This is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the chandelier, I don't even know what to say. It looks like Austrian crystals.
Well, every room has its own individual chandelier.
Oh, goodness.
And they are everywhere.
And the consistency factor in the architecture is amazing. Let's have a seat here in front of the honored owner, right?
Yes, this
That's
is Marjorie Snook.
Yeah. And she's doing well, I hear.
Oh yes, she's great, great.
And so her parents that were married here in 1913. But now back to the architecture. So I see Greek columns and a lot of gold, and I mean it's rather ornate. So who designed this particular style for the hotel?
Well, I think a lot of it had to do with John and of course Margie, and as you can see from the picture, that's in her house.
Oh, is it?
And
Yeah.
she likes this decor.
It's gorgeous. It's not overdone. It has a Victorian feel to it, but at the same time, it has a light and airy feeling too, you know, because I feel like I'm in Alabama.
Well, you are. You are.
I mean, there's a lot of sunlight pouring in and that sort of thing. So the antiques now, tell me how she collected them, or did she have?
Oh, just various places. That's part of the fun, I guess, of doing this sort of thing, is putting things in here that go along with the hotel and all the Victorian feel. And she has a lot of it in her house as well. So.
Well, I have to say that she has stayed true to the period. I mean, it truly is amazing. But little details like Queen Victoria up there over the mantelpiece of that is just amazing. You don't usually see things like that. So she must have really fine-tuned it with a lot of her input.
Oh yes, definitely so.
And how long did the restoration take?
Oh gosh, they started, well, it's been going on since 1967. You know, little things were done here and there, and then she decided 5 years ago to open it as a bed and breakfast, and that's when it really got serious. We had to do a lot of renovation with the bathrooms and that sort of thing, incorporating the rooms, and we only have 10 rooms.
There's 10 rooms, and each one is different.
Each one is different with a unique decor. I mean, it's all different. The bathrooms are beautiful, have mosaic tile floors, and there's just a lot of attention to detail.
Well, I have to be honest with you, I checked in here a couple hours ago, and my room is so elegant, and it feels like it was designed just for me. There are swans everywhere in that room.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I
yes.
love that room. And the bathroom, it is beautiful with a jacuzzi and then a separate shower. And everything has special amenities. I mean, little details like all the products that you put in the bathroom, the toiletries and things of that nature.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's
I hope you
absolutely
enjoy
amazing, yes. So now, we're going to take a look at the bridal suite upstairs, but we're going to take a short break. And we're going to come back with more Art Beat right after this. We're at the Hotel Magnolia. You do not want to miss the next segment. About this door, I mean,
Yes.
when I checked in, I saw it, and it is absolutely humongous. That's the only word I've got for it.
That's a good word
But
for
tell
it.
me about it. I mean, there's a lion, a carved lion's head. It's very ornate.
It came from an estate in England.
In England,
And it
okay.
weighs about 1,200 pounds.
It looks like it weighs 1,200 pounds.
So we don't move it very much.
No.
It was moved from downstairs up here, though, when the renovations were
So this is a
done.
very English setup. You know, you go up to go, you know, the constant levels of the setting, so it sort of fits the door. So let's go see the bridal suite.
Oh, my favorite spot.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at this chandelier. You said there was a chandelier of some ornate quality in each and every room.
Every room. Every
But the
room.
bed is so beautiful, and it's decked out, and it looks like organza. Just gorgeous. Tell me all about the furnishings in here.
This piece of furniture over here in the corner,
The armoire.
The armoire is the only original piece to the hotel.
Really?
It's been here all along.
Since the early
Early
turn of the century, in the
1900s,
early 1900s. And then the paintings and again, it's just so true to the period.
We also had a bridal shoot here just recently in July, and they shot all the old Edwardian wedding gowns in this room,
gorgeous.
and it was beautiful.
Now, how comfortable are these chairs, Mary?
Well, you know.
Let me try the little one.
Okay.
I mean, I know that people were smaller back then, but this is a little ridiculous.
It is, but you had a big skirt,
Of course,
you know,
a big
so then you
skirt.
just kind of perched.
And probably great knees, which I don't have anymore. At any rate, I tell you, this is absolutely gorgeous. And so now the door that is over there on the other side of the room, where does it lead?
That leads out to a small balcony, and there's a little table for two, and they can have breakfast out there or just sit.
Well, you know, I tell you, if there are any couples considering the big step, and you're watching Art Beat, we're at the Hotel Magnolia in Foley, Alabama, and this is a perfect way to spend your first night together. What else is in store for us?
Well, this bathroom is particularly nice because of the mosaic.
Let's go take a look.
Yes, you need to see the cupids on the floor.
On the cupids on the floor. Oh, absolutely. Oh, my goodness. The cherub on the floor, just like you said. Unbelievable. I think I'll draw myself a bath while I'm here.
Oh, okay. Would you like me to close the door?
No need. I tell you what is also magnificent. I was told that the tile on the walls and all around this bathroom, very ornate, but very Victorian at the same time, came from Atlanta. Is that what you
I believe that's where they
And
picked it
Marjorie picked it out herself. So she's really hands-on and extremely artistic in what she wanted for this hotel.
She had a vision, and I think she got it just exactly like she wanted it.
Wow. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go downstairs and take a look at some of the structure of the hotel and when it was first built, and I think we're going to talk to Dale, your husband.
Okay, I'd love for you to meet him.
Okay. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Art Beat. We've been talking with Mary Ounce. Now we've got her husband here, Dale. And Dale, I want you, welcome aboard to Art Beat, by the way. And I just want to talk to you about how this house has completely changed since its beginning.
It's changed quite a bit, as a matter of fact. In the early 1900s, actually, it was a hotel. And most of you had not separate bathrooms back in those days. You had bathrooms in the hall and that type of thing.
Communal
type things, yes. And since the renovation work here, all bedrooms have baths. Tile, we have some for handicap. We have walk-in showers. We have jacuzzis. The bridal suite has jacuzzi and shower to boot. So
yeah, we just saw the bridal suite. It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty nice, yeah.
Now, you are the nephew of Marjorie, the owner of the building. And tell me, did she talk to you about any of the days and times that she experienced here?
Oh, yeah, she did. She used to, as a kid, a small child, she used to ride by here with her parents. And she could envision the day or believe in the day that she would actually own the hotel.
Isn't that amazing?
She always wanted to rock on the rocker on the front porch. And actually that came true. So,
and it came true.
Yes, very much so.
And her husband made that possible for her.
Yes, sure
he
did.
So as we look at the pictures from the turn of the century, Highway 59 was a dirt road. And we know that the acreage had been bought up by Mr. Foley initially.
Yes.
So after that, then the hotel changed hands.
Well, the hotel actually changed hands, and I'm not quite sure exactly what point it did, but my uncle bought it in 1967.
1967.
It was an operating hotel at that time.
So I see through the years, like in the 80s, there were some changes, and also obviously in the 60s it was rather small.
Yes.
And then they started adding on. Do you know exactly in what phases things happened?
Well, back in the early 70s, there was a craftsman, and I cannot recall his name, but Uncle designed a lot of the stuff in here by sketches and stuff, too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he would draw things out on a pad and bring them over here, and he'd tell the carpenter, he said, "This is what I want." He had, I can't tell you how many feet of heart redwood he had shipped in here that had absolutely no knots in it. And that's what a lot of the trim and stuff around the doors and things were made out of. And he actually set up here his planing machines and routers and made those designs.
Well, you know, I just commend you and Mary, because this is a facility that when you walk in, it has that airy quality which we've referred to before. And even though it's Victorian, it doesn't have that ponderous, heavy, dark feeling in it. It's light, it's bright, it's beautiful, it's ornate.
Yes.
But it certainly is not overdone, and you feel like it's a place that you can come be comfortable, and it's so well maintained, so you're doing an amazing job.
Well, we have a few people that help us out a great deal on that there, and when you love someplace like this here, and you tend to take better care of it because it's been here for a long time, and we are the caretakers of it, and hopefully, you know, after we're gone, somebody else will take it over, and they'll do the same thing with it. Well,
earlier you were referring to the carpentry work, but there's work, as you can see, that, you know, Phil had taken some pictures outside earlier today, and there's a massive network, very intricate balconies and walkways, and it's just seems like a very durable construction.
Yes, they came back in here, and most everything that's here is original walls and stuff. They just came back in and made some changes with the finishes, so that they could lighten it up and could make it brighter, because you know. In the old days, dark was fine, but now there's a lot of light that comes in. My uncle never really believed in cutting bushes. That was just one of his things that, and consequently, some of the photographs here from years ago, there was a lot of bushes around this place, and he just did not like doing that.
Yeah, you can see that. I can see that it's covered in bushes.
Oh, yeah. Had a wisteria vine in the front that grew just ever how it wanted to grow, and he was very, very committed to that. Of course, upon his death, because of renovating the place here, we had to tear some of those things down and get them out of the way, but I think it really stands out now with not quite as much vegetation, and we have some things that we're going to be doing in the near future to have a little more flowering plants around it.
Yeah, that's what Mary was saying, like on the balcony upstairs outside by the bridal suite. Well, before we go and see Magnolia Court restaurant, tell us about this photograph. We're standing in front of a photograph that actually dates back to 1913.
Yes.
Yes. So.
This is my grandfather and grandmother. They were married 76 years.
And we might add that each commemorative anniversary of magnitude is shown right in this photograph.
Yes, and their original house.
And their original house where they were married, is that right?
Yes.
So.
Yes, they were quite a loving pair, and consequently all the offspring were very loving folks and very giving people. And Grandma and Granddad, I remember it's been a number of years ago now that we bought them recliners, and we set the recliners by each other and in front of the TV. And I know on a number of occasions that I would go in, it'd be 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, the TV would be blaring, and they're in their late 80s at that time, and they're sitting there asleep, holding hands, both of them sound asleep in the living room, and I just gently close the door and go back outside, and eventually they'd get up and go to bed. But they were just really, really special people.
Well, it's really kind of funny because as you look at the photograph, and you'll see what I mean, she doesn't look that happy that day, Dale,
No.
on her wedding day. What is the story behind that?
Well, the story behind that is that I believe, as I was told, that the original skirt that she had on, someone had spilled coffee on it.
Oh my, on her wedding day.
On her wedding day, and she was very proper, and she had to borrow her mother-in-law's skirt in order to make this photograph, which she was not pleased about that.
Well, any bride would be disrupted by that on their wedding day. So.
But they managed to make it through 76
years.
So it worked out pretty well.
Absolutely. Well, you have a real treat in store for you. We are going to visit the atrium, and then we're on our way to Magnolia Court Restaurant when we take a short break. We'll be right back with more Art Beat right after this. Well, in case you have just tuned in, we're at the Hotel Magnolia in Foley, Alabama, and we are now standing in the atrium. For obvious reasons, it's called that because it is just filled with skylights.
Yes.
And it's beautiful. But the real star of this is the chandelier, and you have to give me details on this, Dale.
This chandelier was bought from a local distributor here, electrical company, and it's a crystal chandelier. It's I think it's somewhere around 900 pounds, that's what it weighs. And it came in pieces. Everything you see here except for the foundation of the chandelier itself had to be put together. And it's quite an undertaking.
Were you the man that did that?
No, I was not. Thank goodness I was not. Fortunately, someone else had to do that.
I mean, it's extremely ornate. It is absolutely gorgeous. Do you know how much light it puts out?
I don't have a clue. It's one of those things where you come in here and you look at it and it puts out enough light to give you the feel of what you want this atrium to feel like. And we have dimmer switches on it. We can cut it down. We have private anniversary parties in here that we set up. We have family gatherings that we set up in here that just want something a little bit different, a little bit special. And it's quite an additional treat for them to be able to take this and tone it down some depending upon the mood that they want to get here.
Well, before we go to the restaurant, I just want to say that this reminds me of the chandelier in the Phantom of the Opera. Came crashing down.
Yes.
Remember that?
And fortunately, we don't have to worry about that because we have it securely tied.
Thank goodness.
And we're able to lower this thing to clean it from time to time, which that needs to happen.
Don't call me. Let's go to the restaurant.
All right, good enough.
Well, here we are at the Magnolia Court Restaurant, and it's such a festive place. I mean, there's a lot of energy in here.
Yes, this is a new facility. It was it's been open a little over a year, about a year and a half. And we've got great food here. We've got the back alley bar in the back that's just been open. We've been open about 2 weeks now. And so we have lively entertainment out there on Thursday nights. We have varying specials that we run here all the time. So this is a really nice facility here.
Well, I noticed on your website that there was a whole wonderful feature about the restaurant and your chefs and all, and some of the specialties. So what's your favorite?
The tuna.
The tuna. I think that's what I'm having.
The tuna is a great stuff. It's dipped in coconut milk. It has a wasabi sauce on it over noodles. And naturally, you only eat tuna rare, but it's grilled. It's got a great taste to it. We have filet Stanley, which is an excellent meal here. It's with curried bananas, horseradish sauce, and a tenderloin. So it goes a long way. We're just now getting into that a great deal on the tenderloin side. So
now, how does your aunt feel about your going into the restaurant business and calling it after the hotel, naming it after the hotel?
Well, we try to tie the two things together. We have facilities here. We can handle up to about 400 people. We handle receptions, weddings, anniversaries. We can do on-site catering. We have an excellent catering staff here, and we do quite well with that.
Now, you said you were in construction, but I mean, how did you transition from, the restaurant business is not easy.
No, but no business is easy today.
Well, there you
But
go.
you just make the best of it. You have to have the right attitude. You know, you like people, you enjoy seeing people here, you want people to have a good time, and you take care of them.
What do you feel sets this restaurant apart from all the others that are around the area?
I think probably it's a casual dining atmosphere you have here, and the people take a personal interest in making sure that you have the real pleasant dining experience, and they care. That's really the biggest thing. They care about the people.
Well, the menu is extraordinary. I mean,
Yes.
I noticed that obviously you're taking advantage of the fact that we're near the Gulf.
Yes, absolutely. We're very selective on our seafood. We have only fresh fish, and we get them in every couple of days. So we generally have fish specials all the time. Shrimp is a big item here. Tuna is an exceptionally big item here. And we go out of our way to make sure those foods are fresh coming in out of the Gulf.
Now, when people book parties here, I mean, they just call do they call the hotel or do they call the restaurant?
They call both. We have the weddings that call the hotel and consequently need a place to have a function. They're booking rooms. They're looking for a place for a function. We tell them the facilities we have here, and we sort of work collectively together. Renee McDonald handles that end of the deal, and Ron Stone actually takes care of all the catering menus.
Well, I have to say that, you know, it really feels good to be able to come from the coast, Biloxi, and come and check into the hotel, and then know that I can just walk across the hall, the atrium, and enjoy a wonderful dinner here, and not have to drive in my car.
Right.
And then go back. It's a one-stop shop, and it is absolutely exquisite.
Yes.
So now you're open for lunch and dinner.
We're open for lunch and dinner. We open on Tuesday at 11 o'clock. We generally are open every day of the week till 9 to 9:30, depending upon the crowd, naturally. We have brunch that starts at 10:30 on Sundays, and runs to 2 o'clock or later if need be. The bar is open basically Tuesday through Sunday right now. We'll probably start opening up on Monday nights for Monday night football, and handle that back there with just probably a small staff on hand here for an appetizer, or somebody wanted a burger or something like that.
Well, I can't tell you. I mean, I tell you what, that the feeling that you get when you come to the facility itself is one thing, but then you've carried through the decor with the Victorian chairs, and you know, it's just such a complete experience.
Yeah, they've done a nice job with the decor of this place here, and they're comfortable chairs. You know, they're not. You know, some places you get in there and you miss, and you.
They're not typical restaurant chairs.
No, they're not typical restaurant chairs, and the people really enjoy them. So we're very fortunate to have that.
Well, it's a very personal experience, and you can feel yourself just relaxing when you're here, you know, and it's really is an extenuation of the hotel.
Yeah, well, we like people. I mean, we like to try to relate to someone coming to your home, and you making them feel comfortable. And if they have a problem, then let us know. We'll take care of the problem, whatever it might or might not be. And in fact, we had a wedding reception that had some problems the other night. They called us, and in 20 minutes we had 40 people sitting here.
Your wife told me about that.
Yeah,
That's pretty amazing.
We try to accommodate anything within our power, let me put it that way. And if we can't, we'll tell you we can't, but I don't know of many things we can't handle.
Well, Dale, I have a problem.
Okay?
The problem is I can only stay one night.
Well, I can let you stay more, but
I don't think my boss would like that very much.
well, you know, but there's a place down the street here that you can go buy clothes.
Okay, there you go.
You can go home.
And I'm talking my boss at home, not the boss at work.
The boss at home, call him and tell him to come over.
Hey, now that's the story.
Yeah.
That's what we really
Yeah.
should do. So, well, this has been a delightful evening, and I have to say, I still have more ahead of me. So, you're going to have to stay tuned, and you'll hear about it. So, stay with us. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back after this. Well, after a sumptuous dinner at the Magnolia Court restaurant, a magnificent tour through this beautiful facility, I'm checked into my room, number 9 by the way, and I'm going to be tucked in for the night. I do hope you take advantage of Hotel Magnolia one day here in Foley, Alabama, and we do hope you have enjoyed our show here. We'll be back next week with more Art Beat. See you then. Thanks for joining us.